Okay, so it's going to be a short video about the Hive Tyrant, and if you watch most online videos of the new Tyranid Codex and various people's battle reports, they're using a Hive Tyrant. They use the winged Hive Tyrant usually, and sometimes people are fielding two of them. And I've been playing some games with it, I've been watching the videos, and I'm coming to the conclusion that you might not want to have a Hive Tyrant in your army. Yeah, that's kind of a shocking statement for many, but I'm not sure you do. He's a very expensive character when he has wings. You know, he's probably 200 points minimum, but he's probably got a lot more. He's only got 4 wounds, and he's not an independent character, so he's almost always on his own. And he's a priority target number 1 for many armies. And if you watch battle reports, and including mine, you know, when people field 1 or 2 Hive Tyrants, often they go down in round 1 or 2, and they're the target that just gets shot to heck. Same thing goes for the Swarm Lord. He's even worse in many regards. You know, so you might think, well, what does the Hive Tyrant do? Can I get something better out of my army that does the same job at lower points? And I think the answer might be yes. I think you might actually do better looking at the rest of the HQs. Not old One Eye, please. He's hopeless, I think. But you know, you could take a Turvagon, haha, and I don't know if GW intended this, but if you take one, he can't be your Warlord, so you can deny your opponent the Slay the Warlord. But outside of that, I think the better options are Tyranid Primes and even Deathleaper, but Deathleaper's going to die, so you don't want to take him as your Warlord in most games. But Tyranid Primes can take all those artifacts that the Hive Tyrant could have taken, and they are more survivable, and they're even harder to target because they can join any, you know, squad, even Carnifexes. They could join a squad of Carnifexes. So the Prime, I think the Prime is far more useful as an HQ. And then you'd say, well, what does a winged Hive Tyrant do? Well, he's going to get downrange and he's going to threaten vehicles and lots of infantry. The Harpy and the Hive Crone, they're a little lower toughness, but they're so much cheaper, and you don't have to buy the upgrades because they already come with it. Even a Harpy could take a 5-point upgrade and get a heavy venom cannon. 5 points. The Hive Tyrant pays a lot more. So, what do you get for it? I think the Hive Tyrant, you're overpriced for what you're getting. You want a close combat monstrous creature? A Trigon or a Moloch, or even some of the new monstrous creatures, even an Exocrine cannon, they're all close combat monstrous creatures. And they've got a lot more versatility, I think, than the Hive Tyrant does in many ways, and they don't take up an HQ slot that may force you to make one as your Warlord. So the one thing you don't get is the Psyker ability for most of them. But I think it's something to really consider. You know, do the new Tyranids need to use the Hive Tyrant? And I'm starting to think that in many games the answer is no. The Hive Tyrant costs too many points for what he's going to do, and he's not worth spending all that point on when you could get other slots that do the same job and possibly as well, if not better, for lower points. I'm sure there'll be people who disagree, and you know, carry on, show me I'm wrong, but I'm starting to think that this guy's an expensive HQ, not worth his points compared to some of the other options.